Hello. Um, I hope that somebody would love to come and say hi. Let me see if it's actually shared in the group. Um, it is actually shared. I hope you all are creating the most wonderful day today. Um, yeah. I'm gonna quickly share it in my other group. Oh, I can't share. Send? I can send. Why can't I share? More. Copy link. Oh, I can actually do it like this. See if this works. Where is my other group? What? Let's see if this works. I don't know if this works. Send. Why can't you share anymore? Did they start? Did they really do so you can't share in your groups anymore? Wait a second. Wait a second. What? This is strange. Okay, let me see if this actually. Hmm. This is not working. Remove post. Da, da, da. Send. This is so funny. I can only send. You cannot share. Wait, can I? Facebook. They change these things over and over again. Okay, so I cannot share live stream. So be it. It is not possible to share my live stream. No. Hmm. Oh, what was that? Okay. Anyway, I wanted to go live and see if there was anybody that wanted to have a talk. Um, so write in the comments, please, you that are looking, or if it's maybe that. Oh, you didn't want to write in the comments. Let's see. Can I comment? Okay, it actually works. Okay. Anybody out there? I said, anybody out there? Yeah. To go live and say hi to people um, requires that you love yourself, that you got self-respect, that you have self-love, you know what ethic and moral is, you have self-esteem. Um, it requires that you dare just be you. But the problem with many is that if they're in a situation where they actually don't like themselves, then they would probably not come to a live stream and say hi because they are worried about what people would think about them. And that's one thing that I'm actually not worried about. I actually don't care what people think. I don't care what people say. It's not gonna change who I am, how I react, how I behave, what comes out my mouth, because I'm actually happy about the person I am, I love, and I'm proud of the blessings that I have. Um, I was sitting here reading in one of my books. It's called The Third Testament, the Book of Life of a Danish guy called Martinus. Um, he was talking about intuition and how intuition, this is something I have believed for many, many years. Intuition is the truth delivered to you in a split second. Um, God's breath, uh, the Holy Spirit, is what they called it in the Bible. Uh, People like me, a mystic, a person who has given their lives to help transform humans, uh, transform this world that is so destructive, guiding them, helping them remember where they come from, how they get to become the best version of themselves, being a mentor, listening to them, talking with them, guiding them, suggesting books, videos, movies, chains of reaction, action patterns, behavioral patterns, survival mechanisms, call them what you will. Um, when I make a live stream like this, it's all about intuition. It's all about what comes to me when I'm sitting here. Nothing is planned. I'm sorry for the coughing, but I quit smoking over a year ago now, almost 2 years ago. And my throat is still self-cleaning. So to those that says that quit smoking will take a couple of weeks and then you're cleaning your throat are lying. But again, it all depends on how much you smoked. And for me, it was both cigarettes and for a long time weed. But I didn't smoke weed for around 25 years now. But cigarettes has been something I've been doing since I was 17 and I'm 55 now. So you do the math. When I talk to other people that quit smoking cigarettes after half a life of being a smoker, they tell me that it will take around 1 to 2 years. So that's what I believe and trust in. It has definitely become better the last half year, but I'm still coughing. So just to explain, And my nose. I have polyps. Do you know what polyps is? Like grapes inside my nose, big grapes. I was operated, and 2 years later, I needed to be operated again. And then I realized I had to be operated every 2 years if I want to get rid of these polyps. So I just decided that I'm not going to be operated every 2 years, and I'm going to live with this. I've been living with my whole life. People often ask me, "Are you having a cold?" I say, "Nope, it's my polyps. My nose is stopped and I can't breathe. I can't get air through my nose. So I have this nose spray that I take when I go to bed, because at least I want to breathe through my nose when I sleep." We all have things that we have to deal with in our lives. Um, when I sometimes go down that path where I think, "Oh, it's so horrible for me," or "Oh, I'm depressed," or whatever I can be thinking, I always remind myself of that. There are people that are in a worse situation than I am, and I start thinking about gratitude. What am I grateful for? I have a home. I get money into my account every month. I'm not physically sick. So all these things I can be grateful for. I can think, I can pray, I can walk my dog every day, I can get food on the table. There's water in my faucet, and so on and so on. All these things that there are lots of people that don't have these things. So yeah, and I've understood a long time ago that if you want to be happy and live in happiness, it requires for you to actually be grateful for whatever falls into your lap. But I'm not gonna let this be a kind of spiritual video. I wanted actually to, but I have to say something when I'm sitting here waiting and hoping for somebody to come and say hi and they want to have a talk with me. I have to talk about something until somebody comes. And I just saw one viewer, but they pop out again. And I've been working as a spiritual guide for 25 years. And I've gone live many times. And all my live streams, and this will probably be on YouTube later too, all my live streams are very rare there's anybody who actually joins me. Again, back to, if you don't love yourself, you don't have self-respect, you don't know what ethic and moral is, you don't have a self-esteem. Um, these are the things that is required for you to be at service for other people's blooming up as a person. Now I have a dog that's looking at me. Come here. I don't know if you can see her. Can you see my little dog here? Uzo. 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 I can take the camera a little down so you can see her. Uzo. Yeah. She is a very special dog. She has been an assistant dog. That means that she has been used to go to kindergartens, to mentally institutions, to old folks' homes, and she gives love. When I have clients, or if I'm sitting here talking, or I'm talking on the phone with somebody, or I'm in a conversation on the internet, she will come and dud me and says, "No," what she says in dog language, "Don't talk with that person, that's bad energy." And I have realized that she only wants what's good for me. She is my guardian angel. So, but now I can see again somebody's watching, and I want to ask you, do you want to join this talk? Because this is why I'm here live. I wanted to see if I can get somebody to come in and say hi and just have a normal talk like human beings do. And that person left. Uh, yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is. this other group that I created because I got tired of all this nonsense that has been shared in this group where I'm live streaming now. All these fake profiles, all these profiles that are locked, all these profiles that are married or engaged. To be single and wanting to be spiritual or is spiritual, and looking for a partner, it's a sacred. There needs to be a sacred place where you can open up your heart and you can let other people get to know you. And the biggest problem today is people's egos. Um, they can create a fake profile. They can sit in that profile and with their big ego and false pride talk a lot of bullshit and make themselves look good. But if you ask them for a video conversation or if they want to come live so we can talk with them, or some other way they want to have a talk, they're not interested. And this is where I've said it in a few videos, and I should make some more videos, short videos, where I say if you wanna prove that this person that takes contact to you or the person you take contact to is a real searching person, then ask for a video conference, a video talk. If the person can have a video talk, then they are probably not searching, and they're probably not. It's probably just a fake profile they're behind, and they're just looking for attention or to ruin people's lives. This is. You have to understand. Darkness has one thing it wants to do. It wants to make sure that you don't find light, that you don't find love, that you don't become happy, that you don't find the truth. And how can they do that? They can do that by manipulating, by darkness is really good at shining, really beautiful. Darkness is really good of to fake being a good soul. But this is something I pray that you people you'll experience somewhere down your evolution path, that you'll have the ability to actually by the energy feel when somebody's fake and when somebody is honest and when somebody's loving and caring and when somebody is manipulating and being evil. Because it is for me it's very easy to feel those two different energies. They feel so differently. It doesn't feel the same way. If somebody is having God in their life, they have faith and they're loving and caring, that's one energy. But if people are faithless, they don't have faith, they are not believers, they are superstitious, they have no intention of actually being a good person or behaving nice, then that is a totally different energy. And for us people, that for me, that has been being spiritual now for 25, 30 years, energy is everything. Everything is energy. Everything is moving, nothing is standing still. Everything is in harmony with something else. Everything is depending on something else. We're all one big system where everybody, what do you call it, ecologically, not ecologically, organic, divine, spiritual, universal system. It's not easy to get people into a talk. I'm going to get some water. Be right back. It became a soda. Sugar-free. And these live streams that I download from Facebook and upload to YouTube, unfortunately, you cannot see the comments. See if I can expand video. No, not that. Here. What do you want to tell me? My video is below. Yeah, whatever. Hello to you that is watching. It's funny, people, they come in and then they go out again. Feel free to comment. I can't even finish my sentence before the people, they leave the chat again. What's wrong with people? Everybody is running from something. I'm in a group with 140,000 people and not one is coming in and talk. If that's not a good example of how fucked up and how screwed this world is, then I don't know what's approve of. Please join the video talk if you want. People, they come in, they go out again. Oh dear God. Please send somebody loving and caring and nice person that wants to have a normal talk. Send somebody, God. Send somebody that wants to have a normal talk. Is it possible to actually find somebody that wants to join a talk and just sit and have a normal talk like a human being? Yeah. You cannot ask people to do something they're not comfortable with. People, they can only meet other people as deep as they have met themselves, and if they haven't met themselves yet, then they will probably be provoked by my loving and caring personality and by my inspiring words that most people will hear on replay because their pride and ego won't allow them to stay in here. I'm very straightforward, guys. I don't bullshit around. Um, I don't share illusions. I catch evil when it tries to manipulate with you all, and I just tell the truth. But evil is real. Evil is real, and it's flourishing in our society everywhere. In our family, on our job, in our government, in the police, in the hospital system, in the doctors, you name it. Corruption is everywhere. Some countries worse than others, but I cannot compare my country with any other country because I don't know how bad it is in other countries. But I know that it's bad here in my country. I feel it every day. And that's why that post I made, where I start with, this is why 98% of the human population have such a hard time becoming a spiritual person and inviting spirituality into their lives. Most of the people, they want to be spiritual. They are inspired, they are fascinated, they are interested. In all these 25, 27 years of me working as a spiritual guide, when I tell people, when they ask me, what are you doing? And I tell them what I've been doing. As late as a couple of days ago, I met a young girl that actually sat down on the ground and sat and talked with me, and she couldn't even pronounce spirituality. She was like tasting the word and she didn't know how to say it, but she was very interested in spirituality. And I've met so many people that says that they're interested. But spirituality is a lifestyle, dear souls. It's a way of you to live your life, to understand why things are as they are, to see the big picture, to go above and beyond the things that normal people are struggling with, because in my opinion, spirituality is not for the, I wouldn't call it stupid people, but it's not for people who doesn't know how to think. It's not for the dull knives in the drawer, because spirituality requires that you honestly, without any filter, can purge yourself from all the things that is not working for you. That word purge, that means, are you willing to let go of the things that doesn't make you feel good? Are you willing to let go of that? I don't know what makes you feel bad. I don't know what makes you sick. But if you look at yourself honestly, I am 100% sure you know. If you sit and talk and realize, self-reflect on your life, on your choices, you will probably quite quickly come to a conclusion of why you are suffering. And if you can get to that conclusion, then you also know what you need to do to stop suffering. When you, as a normal person, suddenly becomes interested in spirituality and you start looking for books, for mentors, for people to listen to, for for groups to join, for like-minded to talk with. There's so many groups that just throws out manipulation, that just says things you want to hear, but it's actually not true. But they're going to keep you in darkness, and they'll control you with your own uncertainty about things. For me, spirituality is very, very simple. For me, living life is very, very simple. The reason it gets so complicated is because of our cultural inherence, our social inherence, our family inherence. It's because of all the things we've been taught that we need to somehow get rid of and don't let it control us anymore. And we have to figure out, what is it I need to do? The question that changed my life totally was, what can I do to start feeling better? What can I do without the help of anybody, without asking anybody to be responsible for my life? That's where the magic happens, guys and girls. The day you take the wheel, the control of your life, and you throw the ego out the window and you sit in the driver's seat with your soul and your heart, and you ask yourself the right questions. What can I do to start feeling better? Am I willing to let go of the things that doesn't make me feel good? At that point, everything will become clear to you, and everything will either scare you or enlighten you and push you in a direction that you have been wanting and missed your whole life. I don't think to become a good person, to invite insights in, to develop your intuition, to be able to read people like an open book, be able to read facial expressions, be able to watch auras around their bodies, be able to feel the energy. These things come so natural for me because that was the only thing I could trust 100%. That was how I felt, the feelings. Because feelings don't lie, humans lie. Your feelings will never lie. Yeah. Here recently there was this guy that I can't remember if he read one of my posts or if he saw one of my live streams, but he contacted me and said, hey, you and me, we need to start making a society, and we need to be there for people, and I always give people a chance. I always hope for the best. Actually, that's not true. I always expect the worst, but I hope for the best. That way I'll never get disappointed. That's a really good thing if you think about it. If you don't want to get disappointed, just imagine the worst can happen and then pray for the best. Most of the time it's actually the worst that can happen that will happen. I don't bullshit around. I don't lie to you. I don't say if you pray for a lot of money will come into your life. That's bullshit. That's superstition. Knock on wood and feathers and angel numbers and 4 numbers in a row on your. When you start thinking like that, you will see it. You will look for that feather. You will unconsciously keep an eye on your clock because you know exactly when there are 4 numbers next to each other. Um, and superstition, when you, as a superstitious person, crystals, and when you do all these things, then you're feeding your ego. In my opinion, you are feeding your ego. When you, as me, as the person I am, I want to feed my soul. I want to be inspired. I want to invite the truth in. I want to speak the truth. I want to search for the truth. I want to share the truth. I want to live in the now. These things makes it so easy for me. There are things that makes my life easier than your life. There are things that I have realized that I have invited in that I live by, rules, fundamental rules, ethic and moral rules, virtues that I live by because I've realized that it makes my life easier, simpler, not so complicated. It's going to protect me. And I'll just mention some of the things. For example, I don't say I wish. I don't say I'm entitled to. I don't say it's not fair. I don't say I should, I would, I could. Should, would, and could are a way of throwing away your responsibility of you being responsible for that decision you made. You can just escape through a little door in your head because you've only said I would, should, and could. But if you change it into saying I will, I can, I must, then you're screwed if you have a conscience. But most people don't have a conscience. Conscience and self-esteem are the two biggest issues of people being sick today. I wish, I'm entitled to, it's not fair. Are things you say without you knowing you're actually inviting suffering in. I wish things were different. Okay, so now you're running around wishing that things would be different instead of just being happy about how things are. and oh yeah, to get back to that person there that wanted to create this society, and we had 2 conversations over Messenger, and I felt that there was certain things, certain issues. For example, he kept calling me bro. What's up, bro? Bro, bro. Typical American thing. And I think it's disrespectful. It's something the youth does. And I told him 2-3 times, and then I gave up. I don't like when you call me a bro. It's the same if your friends kept calling you a nigger because you're a Negro, you're a black person. It's the same if people called you chief. What's up, chief? It's the meaning. And I think bro is the meaning too. But people are not, they don't understand this. And because everybody does it, they put it in the it's okay. They make the sick normal. And what's normal becomes sick. This is how darkness works. They twist the truth. They twist your brain so you cannot grab the truth. And I think it was unconsciously, I wanted to test him. How he was on this path of being truthful and wanted to help people, and because all he does is ask a question in the group, and then he sits and argues with people underneath that post. And in my world, that's not spirituality. But again, we are all different evolutionary places in our lives. We cannot all be evolved. We cannot all be at the same place in the evolution. Some people are further ahead. Some people are old souls. Some people have worked with themselves for years and years. Some people are very insightful, very intuitive, and also some people can have for years and years have called themselves spiritual, but they have not understood the most simple things: ethic, morals, consequence to all actions. All is one. There's a consequence. Yeah, I did say that. To all actions, you have to be true to yourself. Surrender your power to the divine will. There are some golden rules. But this dude here, I gave him. I wanted to test him unconsciously, so I asked him if he would share some of my things that I couldn't share in the group, because this group here that I'm going live in here, the admin is not active, right? The admin is not active. And what is happening in the group is that it's being controlled by AI. So it is actually AI that decides if your post will be shared or not. It's actually AI. And all those algorithms that goes for each group. You can turn things on. I remember, I think I have 3 or 4 groups. In the last half year, there's been different things you could turn on in the group, and you can let AI help you with your memberships and all that. And I've said no to everything, and I wanted to control it myself. So that means that nothing can be approved by automatic, by AI. No. I don't trust AI. I think AI is going to be our doom. Hey, Victoria Elizabeth Ramirez Zamora. She actually likes my live stream. Created a profile the 3rd of August 25. Let's see if she is and she seems to be a real person with a real profile. He wouldn't. I asked him if he would share, and he said yes. And I sent him a link to a book I'm writing, where all my writings are. And first he said he couldn't read it because it was in different language, and I said, "Come on, man! The first thing it says in my post is the second half of the post will be in English, so you haven't even opened the post yet." Second, then I wrote him a couple of days later, a week or something, 10 days later, if you have read any of my post, if he liked it, if it was good, and he said, yeah, it was good. Okay, can you see yourself share it? And he said, no. He only shared his own stuff. And then it just hit me. Okay, why did you say yes when I asked you, can you share it? So, but yeah, I forgive him. He doesn't know any better, but he started arguing with me with big ego and pride, and I had to block him. And this is the first time I've ever shared all my writings as I shared my link to my writings to a person that says they are spiritual. Again, I get reminded that evil want to smile the widest. They want to trying to convince you how spiritual they are, and they'll say a lot of things. But the problem is there are no actions that fits what they're saying. That's why I keep saying to people that, okay, what you say and what you do must connect or you're full of bullshit. The things you say, it must harmonize with the things you do. If you talk the talk, you have to walk the walk. Otherwise, you cannot be trusted. And yeah. Be right back. Like that thing. Also, another thing that makes life easy. Um, how do I express it? I don't. I I I release the need of understanding why things happen as they do. Because when you are focused on, I want to understand whatever it is you're struggling with that you want to understand, and you are using your energy on that, then you will not, first of all, be living in the now. Second of all, you will not um, be happy, be in harmony. But if you, on the other hand, is in harmony, living in the now, not being controlled of, I want to understand why things happen as they do, then you will eventually, down the line, have these, aha, that's why experiences. And these are the experiences that you need. That's why I say you don't have to understand what you don't understand. You have to experience what you don't understand. Thereby the reasons for the aha experiences that makes you understand. And this is for me very simple. But I can hear that the sentence is it's a little bit hard to understand, but for the people that, and I'm not trying to put people down, but there are some people that are not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and for them we will have to like help them, shove them, push them, take them under our wings, um, and just guide them the best we can, because there are people that will never understand in this life or maybe the next what this all is about. This is why intelligent, inspiring, intuitive mystics are the ones that has made society move the most. It's not religion. It's not Jesus Christ. It's not Moses. It's not Muhammad. It's not. It is the mystics that has done the most for the human's evolution. You have to understand, a mystic is a person who's in love with God, not in the debate about God. He's in love with God, and he's in love with how can I serve, how can I help. Um, and to be a mystic, to call yourself a mystic, it will require you to be a humble, loving, caring, devoted believer in God, higher power, not religion. Be faithful, be humble, be not egoistic, selfless, and just keep being there for somebody else, and don't expect or hope for a thank you or an understanding of appraisal, or people they are grateful. I have no need for that. It is very, very nice, and I love it when people say thank you. Um, but I keep thinking about when I do these live streams that, man, I must have talked about these subjects so many times in my live streams. And I know I have, and I will keep doing that. But the thing that can change this is that somebody out there, a viewer, would love to sit down and have a talk. I would love to, for example, have a client that was willing to let me record a meeting with me the first time, so I can share with you how I actually read people like an open book. You know, for example, when people they put what is it called, where you can click like, and then when you click it or you hover over it, you have these options of a thumbs up, a heart, a hugging heart, a laughing emoji, surprised emoji, a sad emoji, and an angry emoji. These emojis, when people they put them on my posts, it's so clear to me where people are in their development. Many people click the emoji laughing when I'm actually being deeply, seriously, spiritually, insightful, loving, and caring in whatever I'm writing. And the only way that this person that is not even close to being where I'm talking about will just laugh about it. They will try and raise their low self-esteem by laughing at me, just like a bully would do. Um, you have to understand bullying is not something that just happens in school. Bullying is something that happens all through your life, from all different um, areas of life. It's not only something, sorry, that happens in the youth. It also happens when you're grown up. And I have a sentence I say to people that try bullying me, because I know they do it unconsciously. They are not even aware of how destructive and how that has a consequence to their own life. But I always tell them, I'm so sorry you're suffering from a low self-esteem. You don't have self-respect, you don't have self-love, you don't know what ethic and moral is. But to put me down only shows you're a coward. And I forgive you and I send you all my love and my blessings, but I do not wish to have you in my life because you're a toxic person. Jesus said the truth will set you free, and I couldn't agree more with him. Um, what people need is the truth. And that's why I keep telling in my comments that if I didn't say anything, I wouldn't care about you. And that's what the whole world is doing. They don't care about each other. They are not being loving and caring. They are being selfish, egoistic, and but when I tell people what they need to hear, the sentence I just said when I meet a bully, I also say it in comments, and people very often, if not all the time, block me. And so be it. Block me. You're the one that's gonna suffer the consequence. You cannot read my posts. You cannot read my words. You cannot see my videos. You cannot hear my music. You cannot see my slogans. You have to understand, I have chosen 25 years ago to be a humble servant of God. I have chosen to let my life unfold the way God wants. Your will happening, not mine. Every morning when I wake up, I say, Dear God, today I'm going to create a beautiful, loving day. Let 5 gifts come through me to humanity, and I don't even want to see the gifts, and I want to thank you for them. But and help me make good decisions and put me on paths in my life where I can meet people, where I can be at service. Um, to be a person that says, okay, I'm going to do this the rest of my life. It requires a lot of sacrifice. It requires that you really are willing to invite the universal truth in, that you are willing to walk the same way as you talk, that you're willing to be that example that people are looking for, that you're willing to humbly, loving and caring meet people where they are. It's not my job to take your hand and be supportive of your bad lifestyle. I would never be that. I will push you in a direction. I will suggest some books. I will invite you into my group. I will tell you to read this book, watch these movies, and then I will leave it up to you to, through your own self-realization, through your own letting go of your illusions and start inviting the universal truth in. I will let it be up to you to be responsible of who you are, your actions. I'm not saying you cannot contact me again. I'm just saying that I'm not going to hold your hand. I'm not going to hold your hand. These live streams I make, when I look at all the live streams that's on my YouTube channel that I've shared, they're all between 1 hour and 2 hours. There are a couple that are 2.5 hours, 3 hours. And I really want to see just one person that can do what I'm doing. Sit down, talk to a video camera as if somebody were listening, as if you were right here in front of me. This is an ability that I've been... People clap me on the shoulder and says, man, it's incredible how you just can sit there and talk, and it's so useful. And but this is what I mean about being a servant for God. This is what I mean about being humble, loving, caring. This is what I mean about being unselfish, that I'm not doing this because I want to benefit anything. I don't want to get anything out of it. If what I say here in my video can sparkle something inside you, a hope, a vision, then my work is complete. There are a lot of mystics in the world, and they don't... We all us mystics, we don't work the same way. We all have the same goal. We all have the same what is it called? Employer? No, what is it called? We all have the same boss, God. We all work for the same boss. Um, we all have the same goal. We want to help humanity go from where we are right now, suffering, and help people to realize that this is something that it can only be changed by helping one individual at a time. Uh, I cannot swing my wand and say, yeah, I'm gonna heal England. Boom! Now England is healed. Oh, now I'm gonna heal. That's not how it's gonna work. This is gonna work from individual to individual. It's like throwing a stone into a lake, and those ripple effects are gonna spread, and maybe it's gonna affect somebody, someone, somewhere, and that person can then take up their own lives to consideration, become a humble servant, and continue the work that I'm doing here, and just find somebody else they can service. Because in my opinion, when we talk about what's my life purpose, I think we all have the same life purpose: to be at service for others. And then we can put all the subcategories underneath. Sure, be happy, live in harmony, don't be sick, don't lie, live in the truth, live in the now. As all these things that since I've been practicing for so many years is very simple. Whenever you go from being a normal person and you want to become a spiritual person, then there are things you'll have to like. You know, when a butterfly goes from a larva into a cocoon and comes out as a beautiful butterfly, they shred something, right? Like when a snake shreds their skin and there's a new version of them. If you look at it like that, there are things that you'll have to let go. And in the letting go, you will become stronger in something else. Um, when you take all these things in that I'm sitting here talking about and you make them into um, life rules, guidance, and you practice it, then it will be hard at start. Yeah, of course. You have a X until lives, X until years where you've been practicing the wrong things, and now suddenly you want to change into to doing the right things. It will take a lot of practice. It's like when if you want to ride a horse, you're not just going to jump up on the horse and start riding, right? You're going to fall off many times. When you were an infant, you just didn't come out of your mother's womb and start walking and singing and talking. No, you have to practice. Everything needs practice, right? That's where abilities come from. When you're born with abilities, and this is why reincarnation has been proven, when you're born with abilities, where does they come from? And they come from because you have practiced in earlier lives. That's something you're good at. And these are the things that you get the closest to remembering what you did in your earlier lives. It's your abilities. There are something you are good at. And for me, it's my hands, and working with humans. In the beginning of my life, when I was young and I educated myself 5 different things, and I started to work in it, in the work area, in the society, I quickly realized that I could not be a part of something that didn't work. So I ended up not working, getting a pension, and that's why I'm sitting here. What is now 27 years ago, I got a pension. I get a bag of money every month for doing nothing. But I am not doing nothing. I am living my life as a mystic. I am devoting myself to your evolution, to my evolution, to the evolution of the human race, to the blooming up of the understanding of the universal spirituality that is going to be a reality in a couple of years. That I'm giving birth with other mystics to what I will call universal spirituality. Um, and that would be that one. If you insist on calling something a religion, that would be the new religion. But it will not be a religion. The universal spirituality will be, because I think that we call it universal spirituality because we want to get rid of that God is sitting in the sky with a white beard presumption, right, from the Bible. We want to get rid of that God only works on earth. No, he is universal. He has the whole universe. And my dear souls, the universe is, sorry for my language, fucking big. If you see the Milky Way, where planet Earth is in, with all these stars and what we have here, this is just a little white dot in a big screen of dots. So to you people that doesn't believe in aliens and you must be blind. How can you believe that we are the only intelligent creatures on this planet out of, I don't know, trillion of planets in the whole universe? I don't even think there's a number of how many planets are there. But I am pretty sure, 100% sure, that there are aliens walking on Earth right now, disguised as human beings. They are helping us, pushing us, because I think if I were alien and I was more insightful and I knew all the truths and I looked down on the Earth, I would be thinking like, man, we need to give them a push. They are so close to actually self-destructing right now. We need to help them. And the reason I have thought that for so many years is when I look at what have happened since the Second World War until now, so much have changed. We have we have created, invented so many things that we have evolved so fast since 1940 and now until now. We have moved more from 1940 until now than we have moved from year zero to year 2000. Um, and that's why I'm 100% sure that we are getting help from higher evolved beings. We are getting help. I remember when I saw The Matrix the first time, this about the red pill and the blue pill. Do we want to keep living in the illusion, or do we want to see things as they really are? That's actually how I saw my life myself when I began my spiritual journey, when I was reborn in spirit, when I my rebirth, yeah. I started to look at things. I started to inviting in all these things that I today know is the truth, and that I can see people are still struggling with even just understanding. As a, from understanding to start living by it, to start creating life rules that will make your life simple. That takes quite some years, guys. It takes quite some years, and this is the main reason I think that people they hear about spirituality. They're so tired of religion, and when they see all the problems that have been created, and they see all the lies that has been distributed in the name of God through religion, then they find spirituality very interesting. But then when they actually realize that if they want to be a spiritual person, they have to look upon themselves and the way they live their lives with their illusions, that they'll have to purge themselves and get rid of all the things that are not beneficial for them and that are not true. What is true for you will make you sick. What is the truth will heal you. So I'm sitting here thinking what I should call my live stream. The only thing that comes up in my head is what makes life simple. The funny thing is when I make a live stream, and for example here in Facebook, they want a title before I can go live. I write, I dare you to come and say hi, right? That's the title of the live stream here on Facebook Live. But when I download the video and I want to put it onto my YouTube profile as one of my live streams, I'm gonna call what makes life simple. What is it you need to do? Because that is what I've been talking about for the last hour. You can only keep your victories and the way you got there by giving them to others. You can only keep love by giving it to others. And just quickly to talk a little about that thing, if you want to work on the self-respect and the self-love, there is one thing that came to me when I started my work. I wrote down a piece of paper. No, I didn't. I took a piece of paper and I wrote on that piece of paper, I don't love myself when. And then I wrote down all those things I didn't love about myself. Not liked, love. It was biting my nails, lying, stealing, smoking weed, putting people down, smoking cigarettes. There were so many things about myself. I haven't thought about it for many years, so I can hardly remember it. But I remember I think there was 40 or 47 things on this paper. And I remember when I have made the paper, I was like, wow. It was like a light bubble. A light just turned up above my head, and I suddenly understood why I've been hating so much. Why I have hated myself so much. Okay, it's because you behave like this. It is because you treat yourself like this. It is because you are such an asshole when it comes to being around other human beings. Um, when you don't have self-respect, when you don't respect yourself, when you're not true to yourself, that means the things that you know is not good for you. Are you willing to stop doing it? As a being true to yourself is a big mouthful to take in, but it's like saying, I have conscience. There's nothing called I have a little conscience or I have a lot of conscience. No, either you have a conscience or you don't have a conscience. Are you consciousness about having a conscience? Because consciousness is what you achieve from this work. You become consciousness, more consciousness. You become enlightened. And the thing is that I have realized is the more truth that you invite in, the more you start living by those truths, the more truth will come. It is like, I don't know if this is right or if it's wrong, but this is how I imagine it. If somebody goes from being normal into being a spiritual person, does all the work, changing themselves, purge themselves, start living a different lifestyle, becoming more or less like me, then I think God will sit in the sky and say, "Okay, I'm proud of you. I will fill you up with the things you miss, but I'll also take away the things you don't need anymore. And in those things that you miss will be insights, will be truth that you have been longing for, will be aha experiences that will change the way that you look at things." Um, and that is what I think is the most positive, loving, beautiful thing about becoming a spiritual person is that, wow, I can let go of that facade. I can let go of those masks I've been wearing. I can, no matter what situation I'm in, it's always the same face. It's always the same smile. It's always the same harmony. It's always shown when shown is shown, right? I think most of you will agree with that you have maybe several masks you can put on for different situations: standing in a queue, being with your family members, going to work, being in a bus, uh, talking with your neighbors. You have masks that you put on that is so far away from who you really are. And the more masks you wear, the further away you're going to get from who you actually are, and you're not being yourself true, the closer you are to becoming sick. These being not true to yourself, have no self-esteem, no self-love, no self-respect, is the reason for why you humans get sick. It's why there's cancer, all these follow-up diseases that comes from lifestyles. These are exactly what I'm talking about, changing your lifestyle. That's why I'm saying spirituality is a lifestyle. Spirituality is something that's going to benefit you and everybody around you, everybody you touch, everybody you talk with. It's going to touch them. Um, Most people will be in denial. Most people will say you're fucking crazy. Most people will attack you. Most people will. The, the thing that I've realized when people, they with their ego, say all the things that they say, I can hear their frustration. I can hear their soul screams. I can hear their uh, survival mechanisms in their words they use. And I can hear that this is how they are struggling with their lives. This is how they are. Um, it's actually not me they're talking about. And that's why, like I wrote in my presentation of myself, that you cannot kill me with anything, no weapon, no person, no people, no government, nothing can kill me, because what I stand for is what everybody is missing deepest in their heart. That's what I stand for. That's what I'm about. Everything you miss deepest in your heart. So if you are somewhere in your life where you need a different point of view of how you can move on from where you are, that is where I shine. That is where I do my best work. That is to guide you, to actually hold you, so to speak. Your soul in my hands, and spirit and your astral body, and guide you in a direction that will benefit you the most, by realizing this is not good for you. Maybe you should stop doing that. Maybe you should get rid of those people in your life. Maybe you should change the place you live. Maybe you should change your work. Maybe, as all these things that when I hear people talk about their frustrations, when I hear people talk about their ows, so woundology, right? That gives me the option, that gives me the possibility that I can read them. When people they through their woundology open up to what makes their life so fucked up, and that's the reason for them sitting here talking with me. It makes it so simple for me because I ask God for guidance. I ask for what should I say right now? Uh, what does this person, what would this person benefit from hearing? How can I reach this person the best? And that's why very often when I have a client, as I call them, when I have a human being that I'm talking with, I often say things that I don't even know anything about. Um, and many of my clients has actually often say, hey, it is like I'm talking with two personalities. One is you and one is something divine. And I said, you are absolutely right. You couldn't be more right. Um, and for the people that doesn't have faith, that doesn't believe in this, uh, to have faith in God, they will not listen to me. They will think I'm crazy. They will do everything they can in their power to see if they can turn off my light. They will manipulate with me. They will come in fake profiles. They will call me in the middle of the night. They will. But like I've said, and I'm gonna say it again, you are welcome to attack me with whatever weapon you have, but you have to go through my millions of angels protecting me, my guardian angels, my soul group, my as I'm not scared of anything. I'm not. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. It's not something I can control. Um, yeah, my PC keeps coming up and saying there's too low frames per second, and I should put my picture speed, my frames per second. I should put it down to 15 to 16 frames per second. I don't know where to do that, so I'm just gonna. And when I look at my videos, when I download them, they're actually okay. And the thing about YouTube's live streams is that they're going to be deleted after 30 days because I think these live streams are what was filling up their servers really quickly because people were doing so many live streams and they were saving them on their profiles. And so to release a lot of terabytes, I don't even know, megabyte, gigabyte, terabytes, I don't know what the next thing is called, but um, they need to make some space. So they have chosen to delete the live streams 30 days after you made it. That's why I quickly downloaded and uploaded to YouTube. Um, I could just as well just make a video and just upload that, but I really pray that somebody someday will come in and just have a normal talk and we can have some discussions, a normal discussion on a mutual respect level, and maybe I can help you realize why the struggles you're struggling with is manageable if you look at it this way, or if you change this. I pray that someday that there will be in my live streams um, what is it called? Proof of um, this way I work, that it actually works. That there will be somebody that will be not desperate enough, but they will be willing to actually give me a chance to, and you have to understand, no matter if you come here and you say what your name is, nobody can find you. Even if people they know my name is Sean Riget and I'm the only person in the whole world called Sean Riget and I live in Denmark, you will not be able to find me. I have lived with a secret address my whole life. If you are a person that you can look up in the yellow pages, then yes, you can be found, of course. But if you come on here to a live stream or whatever, so for example, when I make profiles in games or on Discord or on Ubisoft or whatever it's been, I always just written Sean Riget, right? And I'm so impressed about all these different names people they call themselves. I have not met that many people that actually uses their own name. Um, and when I ask people why they don't use the name, they're like, I don't want people to know who I am. And I'm like, okay, even if we know who you are, nobody is actually going to come and find you. Do you think you're that interesting? The world is not revolving around you. Also, these are egoistic point of view. None of us is so important as a none of us. But I have no doubt that if I took on a white cloth and I took a wooden stick and I took sandals on and I start walking through society and walking from through country to country, I have no doubt that I would be killed eventually. Um, Darkness doesn't benefit from the light starting to shine, from people becoming happy, from people not being controlled by medias and politicians, and the money is going to disappear and people are start going to helping each other, and yeah. Let me see if my life is still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Oh, if I push live, it starts from the beginning. Oh, let me see. Can I? What? No, it's actually 2 minutes ago. Okay, it is live. 1.5 hour. I think I will. What time is it? 9 o'clock. No. 'Do you know that if you are having conversation with somebody and you need to reflect over something, or you need to have a deep breath or something, and you like there's a little space between your words? Have you experienced this, that people interrupt you? I always, when I'm in the middle of explaining something and people interrupt me, I always just quickly interrupt them and say, I'm sorry, I cannot hear what you're saying when I'm in the middle of talking to you. And the consequence of that is I'm forgetting what I'm talking about, because people will always say, okay, what are you saying? But I'm going to say, I'm sorry, man, you just interrupted me in the middle of me trying to answer your question and explaining. And now I don't know what I was talking about, so that is the consequence. People, they don't understand how destructive and ruining and evil it is to actually interrupt somebody. You ask somebody a question, or you want an explanation on something, or you, and this other person is like me, talking from the heart, being on the heart level, being in harmony. I have no intention of going into ego, because that energy that comes with that is not pleasant. It doesn't feel good. And then we're going from acting into reacting. And it's not functional, it's not constructive, it's dysfunctional, and it's destructive. And I stay away from that. I often ask people, could you please come down in your heart? Let's have a heart conversation. But people, they don't understand me. They are so used to, this is why where habits comes in. They're so used to behaving in a certain way that their sick behavior is normal in their world. And I think this is the main reason that many mystics want to live by themselves, be with themselves, live in a cave on a mountain, or like me, live in their own home, but not be a part of society. I'm moving through the crowd. I'm not a part of it. Kind of lifestyle. Because there are things I have realized, there are things I know, there are illusions I don't live under anymore. There are behavioral mechanisms, there are reaction patterns that I don't benefit from anymore. So I am not like that. So I cannot be a part of. If you want to be a part of the society, then you also have to pay the consequences of everybody. And that's why when you are just yourself, you will only have to pay the consequences of your decisions, of your actions, of your choices. And if you're a person that is well aware of that there's a consequence to all actions, then there are so many actions you're not going to do. I can give you an example. Before I became spiritual, I was a guy that could steal in shops. No conscience. I was out shopping here the other day in a recycling shop. I was buying a t-shirt and a windbreaker, autumn jacket. And I had put on the autumn jacket and I had the t-shirt in my hand. And I had those things that hangs on the clothes that what price it has. I have taken the price off my jacket and I was holding the t-shirt. And then when I came to the register, I gave her the t-shirt and I gave her this piece of paper with a price on. And she looked at me and she said, "You only have one thing." And I said, "No, I'm actually wearing the other one." But I remember when I was putting on this jacket, trying it, right? And I decided I want it and I put on my other jacket on. I could just have not paid for it. But then it came up in my head, would you really make yourself a thief for 35 crowns? That's the same as, I don't know, $3, $4, $5. Would you know there's a consequence of that action? You know God sees all your action, all your decisions, and He also hears all your thoughts. When you are this smart a person that you understand there are consequences to all actions, would you really become a thief just because of 35 crowns? And I was like, no. I would not even become a thief if I could steal a whole bank. This is where conscious comes in. Either you have conscious or you don't have a conscious. And I have a conscious. But my mentor comes up here with a new video where she says therapy suits the ego, confession heals the soul, and it couldn't be more suitable and beneficial for my live stream that I read this, because this is actually what, when you go from a normal person into becoming a spiritual person, you are confessing, you are purging yourself, you are actually healing your soul. When you go to a shrink or you go to um, therapist, and then you are feeding your ego, then you can walk away and you say, at least I'm doing something. But this is not about that. This is um, about healing your soul. It's all about healing your soul. Um, and if you want to know my mentor, the person that I met when I was educating myself as a drug counselor, uh, abuse consultant, she's called Carolyn Mays. I would really encourage you to go watch her videos on YouTube. Find her here on Facebook. I have all her books. I have all her workshops. I've bought all her workshops. I have seen all her live streams. I am seeing everything she puts out. I'm listening to every word she says, because in my opinion, she's the one that helped me save me. I know it's me who saved me, but the things she's saying, I agree with 100%. She is a wonderful, insightful, enlightened person. And the funny thing is, I think she has 250,000 followers, and that's again a proof of how few people actually wants to heal. Not many people wants to heal, really heal, right? Become the best version of themselves. But to all your parents, when you are sitting there and deciding you don't want to heal, then you are continuing what your parents put into you. You're putting that into your children. The social inheritance, the cultural inheritance. You don't care about your own children. So let that be a motivation for you to actually wake up and smell the coffee. Are you willing to let your child go through what you have gone through because your parents didn't know any better? Because that culture you are a slave of have made you live under these illusions. Are you willing to actually sit and watch your child have those struggles? Are your child going to survive that? If it was me, no, I don't have the conscience to that. That's why I'm sitting here, why I am doing what I'm doing. I am fed up with the evil being conscious or unconscious. I'm fed up with arrogance. I'm fed up with power fights. My dad beats your dad. Big boobs. Prestige, power. I'm fed up with it. That's not what life is about. So save your money. Don't go to therapy. Watch Sean's videos. It's free and it's soul food. I remember I was out visiting all the churches in Denmark. I was being told through my dreams that I should go visit all the churches in Denmark and ask the priests 3 questions. What is soul food? What is God's grace? And how do you invite God into your life? None of the priests in the 3,800 churches that are here in Denmark could actually answer that question. And I end up telling them what the answer was, that soul food is doing what makes you feel good. God's grace is the hair rising on your arm and in your neck, and you feel this emotion like, ooh, that's God's grace. That's God sitting in the sky being proud of what you're saying, thinking, or doing. How you invite God into your life is be yourself true. Figure out what ethic and morals are. Build your self-esteem. Have self-respect, self-love. All these things, the human virtues that humans have forgotten because of the cultural inheritance, the social inheritance, the family inheritances, all the illusions. This is why there is so much talk and focus about illusions. Illusions, illusions. It's lies. Lies, lies. Can I benefit from telling this lie? Yes, okay, I'm going to tell it. I don't care about the consequence. And this is why we are having so many people having heart problems, having problems with this and that, and yeah. I don't think we have had a time where there have been so many suicides as we have now, for example. People are giving up, and that must be a horrible way to go, man. I didn't learn anything, and you go down and you try again. I'm pretty sure that's what God will say. Suiciders, they are not giving the options to actually realize what went wrong. They have to self-realize when they sit there with their soul group and with God why they gave up, and then they'll have to go down and they'll have to do better in the exact same life again, because we are sent here as angels to have a human experience. And I'm pretty sure if you don't want to have a human experience, if you don't want to come down to earth, you are free to choose to not come down to earth. But these are things that are very hard to prove. So these are just my thoughts about this, the divine, God, soul groups, all this spirituality in the higher realms. It is not, you cannot prove it. Yeah, it was one of the more long, I almost spoke 2 hours. So feel free to contact me. That's why I'm here. Feel free to write me and ask, Sean, can we have a talk? And I'll always say yes. Always. I've never said no to anybody in my whole life. I will say, like the last person who contacted me, they wanted to, I don't know what they wanted, but we started talking, and no, we didn't start talking. I started talking with them, and this person wrote me something, and I hear a doing, and I look at my phone, and I start replying. I try to call the person, no answer, and then okay, nothing's happening, and I let my phone down. And then 24 hours, 2 days later, there's gonna be a response, and she says something again. It was a she this time, and I asked her if this is the way she communicates, because this is not a way I can communicate, and this is I have to ask the same question again and again, because you're not hearing what I'm saying, you're not reading what I'm writing, and you're creating problems that don't need to be there. That's why this is not communication. Will be the same as writing an email. Then you can respond to whenever you want. And when I wrote that, I haven't heard from her since. So maybe she realized that she was actually not interested in me. And yeah. And please don't think that my life is easy. You know what? To be in this position where I'm in, doing what I'm doing, feeling all this manipulation and all this evil knocking on my door day out and day in, and it's not only the Danish people, it's the whole world. You would not be in my shoes. You'll not survive this. And this is why I say God gives the hardest fight to his strongest soldiers. So, but again, I have chosen, I have given my life up, and I'm saying, I am your servant. How can I be at service? So that's what I'm saying every morning. guys and girls, animals and plants and angels and God and whoever is listening. Thank you for have guided me tonight. Thank you for being here with me. I know I have angels watching over me, and thank you to you for watch this on replay. Um, Go watch some of my other live stream. I have so many live streams where I actually have different subjects that I'm talking about in my live streams, and yeah, I must admit, I, I I have met so many people that says it's incredible how you can sit and talk for hour after hour like somebody were listening to you. And I wish I could find somebody that did what I'm doing, but I can't. I haven't found one person that is so devoted with their work that this is what they do. They use hour after hour, year, week after month after year, being at service for the benefit of your evolution. But yeah, this is why I came to Earth. This is what I'm gonna do until I say goodnight and I fly on. Um, Thank you for listening, guys. It's been my honor and my pleasure to be at service. I hope you could use some of my words. I hope I have opened up some closed doors. I hope I have given you the key to your heart. I've said it often earlier that I have the universal key for all humans' hearts, and I still think that. Um, but yeah, take care, people. All my love and blessings and insights to all of you, to your loved ones, to your families, to your dear ones, to your animals. Uh, Contact me if you want to talk. That's why I'm here. God bless you all. I love you. Love, share, and care. Peace.